Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dychronic, host here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we've been taking a look at the Destiny 2 reset for March 30th, 2021. So we're going to be going over everything that has changed today, including the double Ordeal rewards, as well as the new GM Nightfall, Palindrome, and dev stuff going on. We'll talk about that in a bit, as well as everything else. All right, so starting out first, we have the Nightfall Ordeal. This week, it's going to be the Proving Ground, which is the new strike. We have literally never done a Nightfall on the strike before, as it literally released 2 weeks ago, and it is the current Grandmaster and regular Nightfall. And on top of that, this week, we also have the Palindrome dropping. This is the first opportunity to get an Adept Palindrome if you want to get the higher stat version, which the fact that this strike is new is a bit disconcerting. From what I remember, the strike is actually quite short, so there definitely needs to be a lot of champions along the way, and of course my assumption for 100k is going to be Legend. Legend is pretty much the end-all be-all. You're probably going to get 100k on every Nightfall like this. But again, I don't know. I don't know how many champions there's going to be. As far as the boss fight goes, however, I do know there's a couple of spots you can hang out in, but it is pretty open arena. It might end up being quite difficult, especially with his immunity phase. And don't get me started with those Shao Kahn flaming skulls. I don't know how hard those are going to be. The heroic modifier for the week will be Solar Singe. Rotating Crucible playlist is going to be Showdown. It's going to be 3v3, Valor, something. I don't really play it. Moving on to the Europa stuff, first and foremost we have the Empire Hunt, which will be the Warrior this week. The Simulation, which is going to be Agility, which I think is the one with all the cubes and the inside-outside thing. And finally, the Deepstone Crypt, which is going to be the Core 4. It's going to be taking place in the boss encounter of the raid, and all you have to do is anytime you can shoot off the cores from the boss, you have to destroy all 4 before picking up a nuke. And this is usually how people do it anyways, because it's faster. I like this challenge because it's easy and quick, whereas some of the other ones just take more time. And by the way, I can confirm that I have the ability to do that new Proving Ground strike on a character that has not yet completed my Proving all the way to 7, so if you have not done the Proving, don't worry, that is not a prerequisite to have that in the Nightfall, or at least play the Nightfall. Moving on to the Moon stuff today, we have Nightmare Hunts like Crota, Fogoth, and Dominus Gaul. Fogoth being the easiest because you can hide from him in like 3 locations. Ooh, you've got my attention. All right, a Moonlot sector with chest on Legend. I think that's exactly what I'm going to start my stream today with. And then the other one is Arms for the Master, but it does not have attrition. Wonderful. A Master modifier. Chaff. Yeah, okay. Relax. For the Garden of Salvation raid challenge, we have a Link to the Chain. This can be taking place in the second encounter of the raid, and in this encounter, basically anytime you link up to one of the relays, you have to link up everybody at approximately the same time. You can do it at different relays as long as it's about the same time. Every time my cat goes poop in the litter box, he's like, let me out of this room, let me out, and he just darts straight out the door. I'm like, I want to do that too after your stinky stink. Up next, let's talk about Eververse, showing off her different Bright Dust purchases and some perusal of some other stuff as well. First and foremost, we've got an ornament for this weapon. What is this thing called? The Wish Ender bow. I don't like this bow, but it's a pretty good ornament. We have the Denial Dance, which is this kind of dance. It looks pretty saucy. We got a Ghost Projection, looks like that. We have an ornament, this one, which actually I think we saw just recently. And again, it is very deep purple, and I would personally recommend it on certain items. Woo! Getting a class item! Moving on to the other Bright Dust section. First and foremost, we have the Headbanger, where it looks like you just take a piece of, whatever, my horn is going through it, and you just smack your head. Is this an infinite? Okay, it is. I think that's actually an infinite. That's pretty cool. We got the Showstopper Dance, which is a dance that looks like this, if you're interested. You got a Ghost Shell that looks like this. It's like a, I don't know, a Dyson Sphere or something. Got a Sparrow, which is very unique. Almost looks like a football player into a Sparrow. You have the class item for whatever class that you're currently on. So if you want it on your Hunter, your Warlock, or whatever, you have to get on that class to be able to purchase it. I'm personally getting it on probably all of them, or at least the Hunter as well, because it's, you know, capes are better than sweat towels. On top of that, we also have a new ornament for the 4th Horseman, a pretty cool looking ornament. However, I don't really use the weapon that often, so it's not my personal pick. Ghost Projection, some more Transmat effect. All of these are pretty straightforward. You just come in on the effect that you can see. Personal recommendation on Amethyst Veil. A lot of really good black on a lot of things, as well as some shiny purples and some other silvers coming through. Again, depending on your class. If you're a Titan, you're going to have this nice gold Guardian Games mark because, you know, we won the Guardian games. And beyond that, I also like Reef Made. Reef Made can look pretty cool on certain weapons, and again, depending on your armor as well. Real quick, just wanted to go over some of the new seasonal challenges that are available this week. So, yeah, okay, so it looks like I've unlocked 10 different lenses, which are the different things you can unlock in the Prismatic Recaster. There's also the Panacea ornament for the Salvo, which I think is the Vanguard one, which I've already done. Winning multiple wins in trials. I have literally never done this, but keep in mind this is 4 times XP, and it says a Trials of Osiris weapon comes from it, and I also don't know if this is retroactive because I've not done this season. We have Primeval Envoy kills in Gambit, 40 of them, 4 times XP. That is a lot of Primeval Envoys, which means it actually may be a good week to do Gambit because many people will be trying not to kill the boss so you can get more envoys. Oh, okay. Also, defeat combatants in legendary lost sectors with certain weapons, which I will be doing today. That's a good thing to see. And the first one is actually very specific: linear fusion rifle or sidearm kills in the Nightfall Ordeal version of the Proving Ground Strike. So if you don't complete the Proving Ground Strike this week, you'll have to do either a Grandmaster version or you're not going to be able to complete this. Ain't no way in hell I'm getting some Ordeal. Did you show the darkness what light could do? No, I don't think that I did. And finally, for Hawthorne's inventory, showing up for weekly raid challenge. For the Last Wish raid, we have Keep Out. This is going to be taking place in the 4th encounter of the raid during the Vaults encounter. Basically, just don't let any of the yellow health knights into the center circle area. You know, I just realized I've had this Guardian Games emblem on for like almost a year now, and the Guardian Games is just around the corner. A great way to make me feel old, huh? In case you were wondering, I think that these things are going to be the lens unlocks for the challenges, and I have not completed all of them, so clearly there are more. And finally, just wanted to take a look at the Helm Mods available this week, keeping in mind there are 6 mods, and we get 2 a week, so it just rotates between all of them. For this week, first of all, we have Elemental Light. Defeating combatants with a super that matches your subclass will spawn an elemental well of that subclass type. And the other one is Font of Wisdom, one that I highly recommend you pick up that works really well at giving you 50 intellect for 30 seconds just by picking up 1 elemental well on top of all the other bonuses the elemental well gives you. So it's a very strong mod that can fit in a lot of builds that depend on super, because plus 50 intellect is really high, especially considering that most of the time I ignore intellect, so it's usually below 50 anyways, so I'm getting the most benefit. Oh, hey, I forgot about the ship. Yeah, why not? Give me the ship. You know, just take a look at it once and go, oh, that's a cool arrow. Let me just, you know, point in the wrong direction and get rid of it. All right, well, that is going to be the end of the video. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions, concerns, tips, tricks, something I missed, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the thing. Also, I have a live stream right after these videos, as well as all the times on screen right now. We do open lobbies, raids, and whatnot, pinnacles, lots of different stuff, and including the Guardian Games coming up. Definitely going to have a lot of Titans coming into the game. You can be other classes if you want as well, depending on how they restructure it this time. And of course, big shout out to my patrons on Patreon. Specifically, a big thank you to Mandy Voodoo, Mom Dad, Charles Williams, Joe Smith, Monday, Natalie Hopkins, Tobacco Noise, Justin Rare, Raymond Showman, Yuta Panther, Cole Sherman, Casey Reagan for their support on Patreon. Anyways, my name's been Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.